Welcome to Secure Management Faculties, where your mind is key before you unlock what is seen. Secure Agent Dreyfuse. Let's get those introductions out of the way. Below, sell your guns tab. If you have an additional firearm, follow the link, fill out the paperwork, get that extra currency. SecureManagementFaculties.com below. If you need to send me a message, go directly to the website. You'll see at the top and no longer at the bottom. It will be an established contact tab, and you'll see my face right next to it. Hit that tab, and then after that, follow the prompts, put in your email, and then send a message out so I can know who it's coming from. There has been also, just for the briefest stage of this video, consistent updates or requests, should I say, from others asking me about support. Specifically, how you can support the channel is subscribing so the channel can open and unlock its other features and things of this nature that are designated for it. And I will be posting a Secure Management Faculties Cash app at the bottom. But if you do send, please purely send out of support, and make sure you place a note in regards to what that was, whether it was simple support or actual question supporting or a thank you, whatever the case it may be. Make sure it's for an actual reason. But that will be coming up actively soon. You might see it below on this post or in future videos, or rather the description. So let's get into soft serve tactics part 2. And we'll be talking about something very interesting here. We'll be talking about high grounders. What is a high grounder in a soft serve tactic? Well, before we even start, we have to get the context right, because in this world we find ourselves always taking things. We take threshold concentrations of things and we take them out of context. So what is the context of the high grounder as far as what I'm talking about and expressing it? Well, this high grounder person necessarily doesn't have ill intent towards you directly in this soft serve tactic. In fact, it is very observational and demanding of you to know the difference, right? Because the high grounder in these particular situations tend to do things for their position, and you can become simply a byproduct of competition, and that changes between indirect or direct. Again, this is about, it doesn't matter if it's recreational activity, casual event, or at your place of work, your career field, actively in participation with other career fields, different or the same, it doesn't matter. These can last within seconds, moments, or extend the whole session of whatever it is that you're doing. But I want to talk about something very intense here, referring to the high grounder concept, or the application of the person being under the influence of that such concept. You see, the high grounder is not really concerned about you. The high grounder is concerned about positional effects in terms that it can distance him or her from that situation. Now, we're not talking about these things in context of terms of healthy tactics. This is all intentional for the person that is intentionally doing it, consciously or subconsciously, for malintent. So, to make this clear in a self-defense situation, so we can get some real immersive grounds in this topic, imagine being in a gunfight, right? So here's the thing, the high grounder, right? We're not talking about simulating tactics and doing what you need to do. The high grounder will find the best position to be in for his or her likeness, for the performance of the overview not to be viewed to be felt by others, and whether you become a consequence of the form of competition indirectly or directly, it doesn't matter. This is where we start to get into more lucrative expressions of the position of how these soft serve tactics can work. And this person is really only concerned with their end result, in effect, of how it affects their viewmanship, if you will, socially with the world outwardly. Now, not saying that this is not important, because that still is a real thing. Social warfare is a real thing. Social attendance, or you being attentive to social acts against you, are definitely important. But we're talking about the person that is so committed to the point where they're so dead to themselves unconsciously, or consciously dead to the fact of even caring about what's actually going on. This person will be the person that will stand next to the ready available thing, or ready available person that is available for access and view, and put themselves in a prime view appointmentship to be viewed at least base minimum that their person is doing what they're supposed to do in regards to being, you can say, the higher reflection of the work, or the higher reflection of them doing the work, right? And we're talking about, it doesn't matter if you're talking about battle tactics or whatever, whatnot. So let's jump into that, right? Like I said, the example was a gunfight. Let's say you're in a gunfight, self-defense, and the best conclusion is to evade, because you have enough space between you and your opponent. You're not trying to play who's the best shooter. You're trying to execute, let's say, get your family member out of there. Let's say, get people out of there and just get to a space in the area that's safe, contain and management that area, and then make sure you got distance between you and the person that's doing the assaulting out of whatever reason or motive that they have. The high grounder is about to take the best position in that regard, right? If he sees the TV camera crews there already at the intersection, and you guys just missed it, and you're concerned about circumventing slightly around that intersection, he's going to take that way. And he's going to look at the TV camera, he's going to say, yeah, you know, we're extracting these guys out. You know, we're saving these guys for the better good of humankind. You know, internet quote simulation. The point is, at the end of the day, understand that when it comes down to the high grounder is not necessarily your friend. The high grounder is doing his or her best interest in a form of expression to survive. And this part is definitely much more lax in the soft serve tactics, but it can get a little bit debilitating to the point in which you don't know if this person will substantially casually betray you for their own social image. So in that regards, right, when dealing with the high grounder in the perspective of being, let's be honest, being used and abused, if you will, right? Understand the context of what that suggests, and simply act and adapt. There's really nothing else to it. If you know the high grounder loves to show up when this particular member or the staff member shows up, you know, let that be what it is, and let that be what it may. But in critical situations, try to use preparatory actions of management in order to properly influence, not try to sadistically influence to go to that other side of the banner, but, you know, actually do the things attentively for background that will show up in the front ground, if you will, that that person or thing is pretending to be in that social interaction. Because when you don't have the reps in the actual reality of the performance of something that you need to challenge, that you're skipping over just for the social accolades, it will show up in real time. All right, secure management faculties, where your mind is key before you unlock with a scene. Secure Agent Dreyfus. Again, this is Soft Serve Tactics Part 2. High Grounder. Again, below, Sell Your Guns tab. If you need to get that gun out of there, do so. Fill out the prompts. Send that away. Get that extra currency. Once again, secure management. Faculties.com is accessible. If you need to send me a message, It's right at the top. Scroll down just a tad bit. You'll see my face right next to the established contact tab. Then after that, send me a message, and then I'll get back to you at a designated time properly. Also, again, for those persons that were sending me consistent messages about support, for right now, Cash App will be the standard until other channel features for YouTube have been unlocked. I want to preferably use that as a super chat function. That's why I now excessively am speaking about the note leave a note to your purpose and the reason and why, even if it's just a question, right? But you have other accessible reasons and ways to access other questioning apparatuses, the comment section, securemanagementfaculties.com. You even have Facebook Messenger. But if you decide to send support, please send that support in a form that's consistent to the reasoning to why it's being sent. That's all I'm saying, because it is a by choice function, and I appreciate it. But until things develop, let's say consistently for the channel's front view, right? Because I do what I can do on the background, but for the channel's front view, as far as YouTube, and then the actual subscribers going up, and then the actual performance, things of this nature, you understand that. Then I'll be allotted more things surrounding that. I may start a GoFundMe. However that may work, the point is, I appreciate all your support. I've seen the messages I've gotten through the week up until this point. And stay tuned for the final episode of Soft Serve Tactics. I'll see you on the next upload.